So Select Board meeting of Thursday, February 12th, 2026. We'll start with Pledge of Allegiance.
Nailed it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Adoption of the agenda.
No, I think I haven't anything else.
Nothing?
I got nothing.
Nothing? Public comment? Nothing?
Vast
Oh.
public.
Sometimes Mary Ann? No? Select Board announcements?
Nope, for once I am silent.
All right. We met earlier with our town attorney discussing the high head ordinance situation down there. And as of today, she's on vacation for a week. We were going to talk about it more tonight, but we had some more questions for her. So we'll pick it up when she gets back, probably in 2 weeks.
Yes, and I did notify the attorney, Kristen Collins, that
Oh, you
you
did?
had
Okay,
that
good.
session,
Yep.
and that you would not be making any decision tonight
Okay.
on this issue.
Thank
Yep.
you.
All right. Town administrators report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think we'll be fairly brief, or I'll be fairly brief. We did have the required public hearing last night on the appropriation to Curtis Memorial Library in Brunswick and on the Clark Shore proposal. And I just want to remind people that they can vote absentee. They can contact the clerk's office about how that process is followed to request a ballot or stop by the office. But yes, the required public hearings are completed and people are able to vote. And we have information on our website under, one of the buttons on the home page, I think is March 14th, town meeting. And they can click on that and they can find out the budget that Curtis Library presented to the town. There's a lot of information about the Clark Cove proposal. And, we also will have a link to last night's public hearing. So I just want to remind people that they can get information that way on those particular ballot items.
And so the TV station will also be playing the recording of last night, and it'll be on our website and the town's Facebook?
We're going to have it
YouTube.
on our YouTube channel.
YouTube.
Yeah,
It is on
yeah,
there.
it's on there. Yeah, yeah. And I think at the moment, that is the extent of my report. Thank you very much.
All right. Now we got our March 14th town meeting, updated budget, use of fund balance, and draft the warrant.
Good evening. So we wanted to update the Select Board on a few changes in the budget since your meeting last week. So as you know, we've gone through our audit, and, with all the changes in the audit industry, there's a couple of things that one thing that we need to change the budget for is that we used to pass on an entry adjustment for the last few days of a current year being paid in the following year. We need to start actually budgeting for that now within the actual year. So I had to go in and adjust every wage and salary line to include an additional week, so a 53rd week. So since last week, you'll see a change, an increase in wages and salary of almost $37,000 to include that 53rd week. And then because the Select Board agreed to not, because we're not even breaking ground till fall, but we no longer needed to carry an interest payment for the Central Emergency Services Building borrowing because we're not even going to borrow until fall. So was able to remove that $114,000. The interest payment was budgeted at $116,000, but when I rework the numbers, I always round up for the TAN interest. So anyways, it was reduced by $114,000, the increase in the wages and salary. And so that brings your new budget total, and you have this updated top sheet, to $8,168,859. And there is another thing that will be resolved by next week, and that's a 4.35% increase. And as the select board met earlier to start making recommendations or decisions regarding potential or possible wage and salary adjustments, we'll make sure to update the LD, which again is just used for guidance. The board likes to use that. The law has been repealed. You may be aware of how cold it has been in 2026.
Last week was in the 70s.
Yeah, what it seemed to me.
If you were lucky enough to
Not
have
for the rest of
vacation.
us, it wasn't.
Matt and I were fine.
Yeah, we were.
Well, just wait a minute.
But just to update the full board, I was very surprised how much propane has been
Yeah.
being dropped off. And so I insisted that the company, I actually truly believed that there was a leak, because you may recall that we've been on heat pumps since January of 2025. So we went through all of 2025, the same amount of time period that we've gone through so far this year, but we have already used up our entire 2026 budget on propane that we under expended in 2025. So they did come and do very thorough, detailed leak tests. There's no leak test. We're working with our,
Smelled like it when we were standing out there.
didn't it?
Yes, it did.
I know. And he had some on his truck. He
Right,
had
yeah.
said it was. But anyways, we're working with our HVAC company to get some, apparently, with the new brain, with the new system, we can get some good reports. All the entryway heaters use the propane, and I think those have been running excessively with our
Yeah, with how cold.
not
But
such.
Not using that type of propane, though.
I'm sorry?
But not using the amount of propane we've been,
I don't know, with those doors, they're not even very, anyways, he's
Right.
working on generating some reports for us, and so I'm not, by next week, hopefully I'll have all those reports from our HVAC company and be prepared to propose an increase in that line, because as I've said, we've already expended our entire 2026 budget in propane. So there's certainly some things to figure out in that area. But as of tonight, that is your new budget total, and we will hopefully have another workshop with the select board, and then potentially work in some further changes as deemed by the select board, and a possible propane change, and be ready to go for the town report.
Yep.
Do you have any questions about any of those changes?
Nope,
Ooh, don't dare.
good work. It didn't sound like it was fun. All right.
And then the use of fund balance, you were provided a memo. I just misplaced, oh. So every year, we bring this to the select board with our financial statements completed and under final audit review at this time. The town's unassigned fund balance at the end of 2025 was $3.9 million, and the policy, there's a target balance. He still sounds terrible. Of the target balance of 2 months would allow us to use up to $812,493. On the past proposals that you've seen, use of revenue, Christie and I have recommended using the $600,000 of fund balance to offset the 2026 tax commitment. There's a recommendation in a warrant article you've already reviewed when you did the warrant last week of up to $50,000 to use of the unassigned fund balance for the removal of the hazardous material at the Century Building at Mitchell Field, and up to $77,870, and that's an odd amount because that specifically included the insurance proceeds as it regards to the rebuilding and repairing the salt shed. There's also
Remind me, how much were the insurance proceeds again?
$27,870.
Thank you.
Yep. There is also one remaining outstanding past town meeting approval for use of unassigned fund balance relating to new equipment at Harpswell Community Television. All those uses together total $767,870, which is below your target use that would allow you to use up to $812,493. So we bring this to your attention that we're within your target policy, and if there was any other thoughts that you had had under consideration and have not expressed as of
Tell me
yet.
again what the target is, 8?
It's right in your memo.
3.127, 3.128,
Down below.
basically.
Yeah, okay. All right, well,
And you don't necessarily have to do a vote on this because you've gone through the warrant and I'm
Yeah.
assuming conveyed there. Yeah.
Incorporated
Right.
in there.
And then final warrant changes?
Warrant changes, I might just quickly go through. So you have a draft warrant, it's dated February 10th. And Article 5, we're going to just change the note slightly. It's going to say the Harpswell Comprehensive Plan Task Force recommends adoption of the proposed amendments to the town's comprehensive plan, which was adopted on November 4th, 2025. And then we'll continue to say that the proposed amendments are available for review and inspection. But we did ask our attorney just to review the way we had presented the article, and we received feedback that we should say the Harpswell Comprehensive Plan Task Force recommends in the note. So we will be adding that. As Terry mentioned, with the recommendation to budget the additional payroll time, many article numbers have changed now. So Article 11 had some salaries in it. Article 12 had salaries. Article 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They all had changes based on budgeting for that additional payroll time period.
Yep.
And then Article 30 as well, that has the road commissioner. And Article 33 is the Department of Safety, our municipal firefighters and our fire administrator. There would be wages in there, and I believe that's the extent of the impact on the budget based on those changes. And then I just want to draw your attention to Article 46, and that's where there was this significant change because it was over $100,000 of interest that we had budgeted for the central station, and now that's been removed, and that new figure is $670,000 for short and long-term principal and interest debt service payments in 2026. So those are the changes. I do think we need to make sure we have your recommendations. Next Thursday would be the last meeting before this goes to the printer. So to the extent we can get it as close to the final version, it helps to reduce any complications at town meeting if people bring their town reports and then we make changes. It gets a little complicated. We can deal with it, but it can be complicated. I do think we needed the board to weigh in on Article 48 and 50 about whether or not you wanted to charge 6%. I don't recall if you actually made a decision on that for delinquent taxes. It was 6% in 2025. I believe the state treasurer allows a maximum of 7. We looked it up. That rate is set annually. You could stay the same, you could go higher, you could go lower.
I'd be more inclined to go lower if somebody's already.
Yeah, if they're struggling already,
Well,
that's
Right.
usually a reason
why
for it.
not kick them all down, right?
Yeah.
No.
And that's, if I remember correctly, you would know this, Terry, that number is usually fairly small, isn't it? 99 point something % of people pay their taxes on time, don't they? It's a,
Many people have gotten, a lot of taxpayers will make both payments in September because those that, can be forgotten in December, and the tax collector does send out a reminder. But we have some pretty good taxpayers.
yeah. So it's a very minute amount of people
Yeah.
that this is affecting. I'm okay with going lower. Why kick them when they're down, like you said?
4%?
4. Yeah.
And then that would also, Article 50 is what we would pay if somebody received an abatement from the town based on perhaps incorrect information in their assessment. So
How
that,
about 1% on that one?
well, I think we have typically tried to
kidding.
stay,
I'm kidding.
okay, you're going to stay with 4,
Yeah.
both of them?
Yeah, 4% on that one.
I mean, I think you
we need
could
to
go
vote
lower if you
on
want
that?
to. Do you want me to look at, are you interested in going lower on that one?
Well,
We're holding their
that's
money.
the other direction. That's us paying, so.
No, I know.
We don't get very many though, do we?
Well, we're going, we don't typically get many, but
But
we're
we're
going
having
into
to
a
do
revaluation
evaluation, yeah,
year,
so
so,
Could be a few.
so
Yeah.
this idea of going lower is interesting.
Yeah, look into it. I guess.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt to check.
You used to always go lower on the
Okay.
abatement, and then that changed with Selectman Moulter, I believe.
Did it? Okay.
She had said if we're going to charge somebody this amount for paying late, and if we're going to hold their money for them, then we should pay them the same rate back. But prior to then, you used to always go lower on the abated. And the only thing I'll add, and I'm not making this statement to encourage you to go higher, but you do want to make sure that the interest rate is a deterrent. You don't want people to keep their money.
Oh, for Article 48.
I'm not sure that's why they don't pay their taxes though, because it's a lower interest rate if they're late.
I will tell you that people that may forget it, when they have to pay interest, they don't forget the next year, typically. But I'm just,
I just don't want my name in the book. That's what keeps me from not forgetting.
That is good
That'll do it.
motivation.
That's why people read the. town
Yeah,
report.
literally, that's what I look
That's
for,
the-
how many people I know.
It's the first page they
Yeah,
go
to
to.
make sure my name's not there.
Used to be births, marriages, and
Deaths.
delinquent taxes.
So 4% on 48, and we'll look at kind of the past history maybe on,
Or are we even
Abatements
allowed to
and-
go lower?
I believe you are, yeah,
Right.
yeah. I think it used to be like, I thought there was a formula, and it was like you could go 3%, 3 points less than the delinquent, or something like that. I don't-
yeah, I can't remember.
Anyway,
It's too
we'll look
hard.
that up. So I think I wanted to point that out. I wanted to see if we do have a question mark on the recommendation for Article 43, which is community broadcasting. Is Select Board Member Chipman abstaining from a recommendation there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, I think I should.
Any other changes to that article that the board is interested in? Okay, and the other two members recommend?
I'm gonna meet with Donna. She sent me an email, and I wanna meet with her before I make.
Okay, okay, 'cause-
I was supposed to do
okay.
it next week, so I'll have
Okay.
an answer on Thursday.
Yeah,
Okay.
I recommend.
Okay.
She mentioned that you hadn't been in yet. She did bring that up.
Yeah. I did tell her I'd get back to her when I got back, so it's on my list of things to do.
All right, I think that's it for any changes at this juncture. Great, thank you for the input.
All right, authorization of the payroll and warrants.
I move we authorize them.
I second that we authorize them.
All in favor? Public comment. I don't see anybody's hand raised on the, nope. Other business?
I just have one item. So we received communication from CMP that there are 3 poles being proposed for Thompson Road. Thompson Road, yes, Thompson Road, thank
Yeah,
you.
across from the
And
store.
there's apparently a new house being constructed down there. and
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
Uh, Thompson Road, it's off
Thompson.
Off of Shore Acres.
Shore Acres, across from Uncle Pete's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they need permission to put these 3 poles on a town road within
Oh.
our right-of-way. And the road commissioner has gone down, they flagged them, and he says that, that would work. And so we asked the select board to sign off on that. This has to be signed by municipal officers, and the road commissioner is a municipal official, but not a municipal
So
officer.
we
What
don't
kind
need to
of
vote
people
on
would
this.
be to tell people, no, you can't have power?
Well, you know, this is the town's right of way, so that's why you're involved.
I don't know the answer to this, and I'm only asking because I don't know. By adding poles, does that increase our franchise fee that we would get at all?
Only if somebody decided to get cable.
Yeah, they run
Okay.
cable.
Yeah.
Cable television.
All right,
Yeah.
Yeah, right, not internet.
so we don't
Right.
get any money from CMP for them using our right of way.
No, no, the telephone.
Well, you
it's
get,
all-
you know, there's a new house being constructed.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
I know. No, I was just curious.
But,
I wonder where.
It's only for entertainment services. That's all it's for, not.
Yeah.
down Thompson Road, I think on the right-hand side.
Oh, yeah.
And you
So
know
do they
that,
pay it if they get internet?
well, internet's entertainment. Wouldn't you call it entertainment?
You know, but that's a
It's-
federal
But the FCC
rule,
calls
so-
it information, and so
It's
that, there's
borderline.
no, yeah.
Yep. It took me 20 years to get internet down my road.
Do we need to vote on this?
Really?
Yeah.
No?
I
Yes?
think we just need consensus and.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. The
It will be
It will be
signature,
reflected.
the
in the
signature
minutes.
will be the consensus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the past, there have been some times where you have not signed them based on the initial submission because it may have been too close to something or too far into, on a corner. While they do their best, we have had them shift them before, so that is why it's important to come before the select board.
Too close to the road, and
And
they're
of
called
course,
fixed
we-
deadly
yeah,
objects.
yeah.
Uh,
We don't have any jurisdiction over private roads, but this is a
Right,
town,
yeah.
town road. Thank you.
Everybody's put their scribbles on it?
Yeah.
I get the neatest handwriting on the select board.
I got the worst.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
write your names on the right-hand side, because no one will ever be able to tell who
It's
that
better
is.
that
In
way.
parentheses?
Yeah.
They
Okay.
can't track us.
All right.
down.
Yeah. Any other business? Everybody's looking?
No.
Nope. In that case, we're adjourned.